Hi, I'm Chandler Garcia. As a PICU nurse and global health advocate, I've cared for women and children all over the world, from Costa Rica to Egypt to Kenya and beyond. And no matter where I go or how tough the conditions get, I always wear my FIGS. These scrubs are lightweight, breathable, and super soft, perfect for long shifts in any environment. They've got pockets in all the right places, the fit is flexible, and they're durable through every admission, surgery, and post-op. But it's not just about the scrubs. Another big part of what I love about FIGS is when they say they're committed to supporting healthcare workers all over the world, they mean it. I recently joined them on an impact trip to India where I worked in triage, caring for babies in a mobile clinic. My FIGS aren't just what I wear. They're part of the impact I want to make. Wherever my work takes me, FIGS helps me show up ready to make a difference while looking and feeling my best. Get 15% off your first order at wearfigs.com with code FIGSRX. That's wearfigs.com, code FIGSRX.
Sit back and relax and get ready for another exclusive episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast with Lopez.
This episode is brought to you by ERC, Employee Retention Credit. They specialize in getting money back for your business. Receive up to $26,000 per employee. It only takes 10 minutes to see if you qualify. Go to my website at lopezlassane.com, and on the top of my website, click the tab that says Get Money Back, or click the link in the bio. So don't wait on this. And the best part about this, it's absolutely free. No fees up front. You have nothing to lose. So go to my website or click the link in the bio and get started today. Welcome to another episode coming at you from King of CashFlowWebsites.com. My name is Lopez. So today, I just interviewed Johnny Baskin. He's a digital marketing expert, CEO and founder of Nomadic Advertising. He's located in Toronto. It was a good interview. Hopefully you like it. Share this episode. Leave me a review in iTunes. Send all your emails to renegademoney@gmail.com. Tell me what you like about this interview, or just tell me what you like about the podcast so far. Hopefully you like it. It was a great interview. I had a good time. Enjoy. See you on the other side.
Yeah, in the biggest city in Canada, Toronto. So it's a pretty nice place.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So how'd you get started in digital marketing? Because, we don't go to school for this. This is not like the career path. We don't grow up and say, hey, one day when I grow up, I want to get into technology, man. So how'd you get started?
Yeah, so actually, for a long time, I always kind of knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And throughout high school, I had different projects that I worked on, right? Different websites that I created. I had like an e-commerce store that I created. I had like a gaming website that I created. But I always kind of had the same issue, which was I could figure out what I needed to do to kind of like put together the website and everything, but I could never actually figure out how to get customers and how to gain traction to the website. So I always had this like constant issue. And I kind of had the idea of, okay, well, if I'm going to start a business, I don't really know exactly what kind of a business I want to start. Maybe I should invest more into learning marketing and try to work with other companies on their marketing and use that as a way to grow that skill set. And then once I kind of get good at marketing, I'll be able to start any kind of business that I want to start, because as long as I'm able to generate the customers, I'm confident that I could figure out, like the back end parts of the business that are required, or I could hire people to do that, because if you're getting customers, that means that you're generating revenue for the business, right? So that's kind of how I got into the marketing space through this issue that I had noticed myself I kept coming up with.
Yeah, man, I think everyone has experienced that, online at some point. And it's the same reason why I learned marketing, because I used to create websites for people and for myself for fun in the beginning. And people, there was like a kind of like a myth. People will say if you build it, they'll come, but they never came.
Yeah.
So I had to learn, just like most people. We learn the hard way, or you hire somebody or whatever. So, but how'd you know you could actually serve other companies or help other people do it? Because it's one thing to do it for yourself, but how do you know you could help other people, other small businesses or solopreneurs do the same thing?
Yeah, so a lot of my initial knowledge when I first started in the marketing space was in SEO, because I didn't have a lot of capital myself, and I wasn't really sure how. I knew that there were paid strategies, like you could do Google ads or you could do Facebook ads, but I didn't know how I was possibly going to do that without any kind of upfront capital to be able to invest in the advertising in the first place. And that's when I kind of found SEO. And a lot of people touted SEO as like, okay, this is a way that you could generate traffic to your website, that you could generate business, and it's pretty much free. All it takes is the time and effort to optimize your website. So I had scoured the internet, done tons of different research around SEO and how that works. And then I started working as a freelancer, and I worked with, a few different companies, and I ended up working with one company, and they hired me on as a full-time role in their company, helping them with the marketing side of things. And I didn't have too much knowledge aside from the knowledge that I had read online. But like you mentioned, especially in the SEO space, there isn't any formal degree, especially with SEO, because nobody actually knows how Google's algorithm works. I don't even know if Google knows exactly how that algorithm works. So there is no right or wrong way to do SEO. But the more that you do it, the more experience that you gain, you start to find these common elements that, when I make this change, I get this kind of result. And so having that freelancer kind of experience gave me the opportunity to work with a lot of different companies and try to start to find what works, what doesn't work. And when I was working as a freelancer, I was just one guy. I was not charging a lot. I was still new to the space and new to the industry, but it was very helpful for small businesses to have somebody like me who was not going to charge an arm and leg, and that could help them do things that they had no idea about, because SEO is such a black box for a lot of people. And like I mentioned, I ended up getting hired by one company in a full-time role. That company actually hired another consultant, and they were like, okay, teach this guy everything that you know. And that consultant kind of taught me the pieces that I was missing, because everything that I was reading online when it came to SEO, everybody was talking about backlinks. They were talking about offsite SEO. I'm not sure how familiar you are with SEO, but everybody was talking about backlinks and authority and how important this was. So I had learned everything about backlinks, but I didn't know everything about on-page SEO. And on-page SEO is actually extremely important. You need both elements. You cannot succeed with only one element. So this other consultant helped to fill the gaps of knowledge that I had. And I actually helped them to fill gaps of knowledge that they had, because they were not too familiar with backlinks, right? Because you really had to scour these parts of the internet to learn about all this kind of stuff. Back then, all of the information was spread out on different forums all over the place. Now it's more consolidated. Now there are industry figures like Moz and Ahrefs who have created guides and courses. Back when I started, that didn't exist, right? You have to scour tons of forums to learn about all of this kind of stuff. So even with the knowledge that I had self-taught myself, I was able to bring value to this other consultant. And that's when I started to realize, wow, I actually have some knowledge that a lot of people don't have. And the company that I was working with started to see a lot of success with their SEO and started to generate a lot of business from that. And that was really the thing that gave me the confidence to say wow, okay, I can do SEO. I know what I'm doing here. And then from there, it just kind of snowballed.
Gotcha. So how were you able to persuade other companies that SEO or backlinks, it matters. It will make a difference if you utilize it. How were you able to do that? Because I've worked with a lot of these companies, and a lot of times they don't see the value of being on the first page or of Google or just ranking high. Period. They just it'd be like, oh, I don't know, man. Well, just give it a try and see what happens. So how were you able to persuade them that, hey, this will help you. This will help get more people into your business, your store, etc.
Yeah, this actually took me like years to figure out, because when I first started in the SEO space, like I would approach business owners or different people that were looking for this kind of work, and I would tell them like, okay, I can do the best SEO, I can get you really good backlinks, I can rank you high up on Google, right? And the only people that would work with me were people that already knew that they wanted SEO. They already had some idea of what SEO was, right? And that was like, the first few years of my career was like only working with these kind of people that already knew that they wanted SEO. And for a long time, I struggled to figure out like, okay, well, there's such a huge amount of businesses out there that could benefit from SEO, and they just like don't know about it. And really like what changed it for me was when I changed my messaging. When I stopped talking to business owners and saying, hey, I can get you really good backlinks, or I can, raise your site's authority, I can get you on the first page of Google. And instead I started saying to business owners, like, are you guys looking for more customers? How are people currently finding you today, right? And then that kind of led to that conversation and really focusing on, hey, this is not, the point of this service is not to rank you first on Google. The point of this service is to generate more business for you, to get more customers into your door, to get more people to your website. That kind of messaging resonated a lot better with the different people that I talked to that weren't familiar with SEO, because they were all trying to figure out this same issue that I had when I started in the marketing space, which was, how do I generate customers? How do I get more customers online? So by focusing the conversation on that pain point, then we ended up, coming full circle, and then they were actually interested in hearing about SEO, because once they realized, oh, this could solve that problem, then they started wondering, okay, now tell me about the SEO. But first I had to explain to them that that's the problem that we're trying to solve.
Yeah. I took a look at your website, and I noticed that you focus on businesses that most agencies wouldn't focus on, like plumbers, construction, and other like like dentists. A lot of agencies kind of steer away from the professional businesses, and they kind of cater towards technology, or at least businesses that know what they do. So why did you choose to go that route?
Yeah, so I think that one of the reasons is when I first started, like I mentioned, in the beginning, I was kind of like a freelancer, right? And I was working with a lot of small businesses, because those were the people that had a good alignment with, my pricing and, the services that they needed. So I kind of started in the local SEO space, and Toronto being, the biggest city in Canada, we have a lot of people searching just like local search terms, right? And also with local SEO, it is like a little bit different than like let's say if you're working with a company that's doing like nationwide campaigns, you have to some of the steps of the process are a little bit different. So in the beginning of my career, I focused on local SEO. I got really good at that. I got really good at ranking companies for localized keywords. Now, as I've grown in my career and I've started to work with like some bigger companies, now we work with, also nationwide companies. We work with companies that are publicly traded companies and that require a more kind of intense campaign, that have bigger budgets. And but we still continue to service those smaller businesses, because I have clients from back then, and we still get quite a bit of prospects coming to our business that are small to medium sized businesses that are more like localized businesses, and we can still provide that service, right? I still have all of that knowledge from before. So our agency is a little bit different from a lot of other agencies, because there's a lot of agencies where they focus on one particular industry or like one particular market, versus our approach is like a very like tailored and customized approach. We have clients from many different industries, and what that allows us to do is like take all of these like nuggets of like knowledge from all of these different industries and seeing like, okay, this is what's working in this industry. Now let's try to apply it to this other industry that we have another client in. And that's allowed us to create campaigns that I think are more creative than what a lot of the companies that, they just focus on one industry and they kind of do the same thing for every one of their clients. And that makes it easier in terms of like, as an agency, you're doing the same thing. It's going to be easier for you to create processes and to like basically spend less time on each client. But I find that our like personalized approach of like trying to understand your industry, trying to understand your competitors, trying to understand the goals of your company, and then creating like a more customized and tailored approach specifically for you works very, very well for our clients. And usually our clients end up sticking with us for a long time because of it.
That's great, man. So what do you think about the internet today versus the way it used to be back then?
Yeah, it's changing so quickly, especially like lately, like with all of these developments with AI and ChatGPT. Like everybody in the SEO industry is kind of freaking out because it's not only hitting the SEO industry from like one side of things, which is maybe the most obvious thing for a consumer would be that the way that search engines are now surfacing results, right? They may not only just surface like websites for you to visit, but they may also create some AI generated content as a result, right? So it's changing the way that the search engine results page is looking, but it's also changing the workflow, because one big aspect of SEO is content creation and creating content. And this AI software is now claiming to be able to create, great content very easily and much faster than it would take a human to do it. So it's really hitting us from all sides. But honestly, it's what I love about this industry and working in the digital marketing space is the fact that everything is constantly changing. I really see this as like an opportunity. I think that there's constantly new opportunities in this space. It's not like there's one leader who did one thing and what they're doing is going to work forever and it works the best, and it's very hard to outcompete them. But it's like things are always changing. There's constantly new opportunities and new ways, and we're constantly looking for new ways that we can help to market our clients. So I really see it as more of like an opportunity than anything else.
Yeah, same here. A lot of people are kind of freaking out like, hey, the AI is going to replace all the copywriters. The AI is going to replace all the whatever they can come up with. I don't think it's going to go that far, but how far you think it's going to go or could possibly go?
Yeah, I think that what it's going to do is we had this conversation with our team internally. Like when ChatGPT first really started to pick up speed, we were talking about, okay, how do we deal with this, right? And the conclusion that I came to is, look, our client's marketing budget is not going anywhere. It's allocated. They need it. They see the purpose of marketing. They understand that they need to do that to gain more traction and continue to grow their business. So that budget is still there. But what is going to change is their expectations, right? So if we're able to use this AI software to help us to be more productive, if we're able to use it to improve our processes, improve our workflows, then what that means is that our clients are going to get more for less, right? And I think that this is the kind of like general idea that we're going to see. It's not that people are going to be replaced. It's that people are going to be able to do more with their time, which I think is really great for everybody, because now we're going to just have like more of everything, right? And more we're going to be able to do more with our time. So I think that that's like the main thing. But also, like at the end of the day, I think people are a little bit, they're thinking that the AI is just going to replace them like that, but it's not that simple. Like at the end of the day, even if I want to use ChatGPT to write me a blog post on a particular topic, I can't just tell ChatGPT, hey, write me a blog post on this topic, because it's going to write something super generic that's not going to be super helpful, that's going to be basically like the same thing that like 100 other websites have already asked ChatGPT to write for them and paste it on their site, right? What matters is the person behind it. So do I know about this industry? Do I know the questions to ask ChatGPT? Do I know the frequently asked questions that I should include inside of this content, right? And can I verify that the information that ChatGPT is giving me is actually accurate and is actually going to be helpful to a user that's reading this blog post? Like ChatGPT can't do that right now. It's not going to do all the work for you. You need to know what to ask it to do. You need to know how to ask it to do it. And you may need to ask for multiple prompts and combine them together. So it may make things easier, but you still need to have a human behind it. And right now, like in terms of SEO, we don't really know exactly how AI content is going to perform in the future. Like there are AI content detection software out there that can detect the likelihood of if content was written by AI, and Google is definitely going to use this. And, if I was Google, I think it's fair to make an assumption to say that, hey, if content is written by a human, it's probably higher quality than content that, is 90% written by AI. So I think that they will be incorporating this in their algorithms. They did publish a research paper where they looked at different websites that are currently using AI content, and they found a big correlation between AI content and spam. So, if there is this correlation that, spam sites are, 90% more likely to use AI content, and a large chunk of AI content on the internet is actually on low quality spam sites, which is likely to happen, then, it really makes you pause and think, like, do you want to be grouped in with that? Do you want, if that is a factor that Google's going to be looking at, is that the kind of content that you want on your website? And that's why as an agency, we've been taking a very cautious approach in this whole thing. And we haven't started generating all AI content for all of our clients, because we understand that the human content is still good. It is a higher quality, and that Google can detect AI content. So we don't want to jump the gun here and do something that could potentially hurt our clients' websites, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of AI software that I've seen, the quality is not that good. Maybe you can use it if you want to for articles or something like that, but if you want to write a good sales letter, that's not going to work. Not so far anyway. It could change in the future, but I always say AI can't replace emotions, how people feel.
Exactly. It's got no personality. The content is very dry, right? So, and like another thing that I've thought about is right now, it's also an opportunity to create very unique content. So let me give you an example. Like if I wanted to write a blog post that was okay, what's the average price of SEO of an SEO consultant, right? I could ask ChatGPT to do it, and it's going to give me some range, and maybe that range is going to be, somewhat accurate. Or what I could do is I could call 25 SEO companies, get quotes from all of them, and construct a blog post around that and around that data. And that is going to be a much more high quality post. That's going to give some information and data that you wouldn't be able to get from an AI. Sure, it requires me to do a little bit more work and to go and do this research on my own, but I'm creating a much higher quality piece of content. And that's what I mean when I say, clients are going to be able to get more for less, because maybe I'll be able to leverage, the AI tell me to write out that article, but I'm going to have to be the one that actually surfaces the research and gets all of that information, which before maybe I wouldn't have time to do that because I spend all my time writing, right?
Yeah. So you've been doing this for 8 years now, right?
Yeah, since 2014.
Okay. So what are some common problems that people have when they come online? Assuming they have a website, assuming they have a product or service.
Yeah. So, most of our clients that come to us, or, I would say a lot of the clients that come to us, they have this similar problem that I found, which is, they've been able to build a business. They've been able to do it successfully, but they've done it through word of mouth. They've done it through referrals. They've done it through leveraging their own network, right? And now they're looking for a way to actually be able to generate leads more consistently and generate business more consistently. Because although, like, I hate to admit it, word of mouth is like one of the most powerful ways of getting sales, right? And especially high quality sales. It's going to make it way easier when somebody refers you, or when they already know who you are, right? Or because they've worked with you in some capacity in the past, right? So like word of mouth and referral is extremely powerful, but the problem with it is it's also extremely inconsistent, right? So and then when we look at their websites and what they're currently doing with their digital marketing, what a lot of them struggle with is like content creation, whether that be on the side of Google and SEO and creating content that is going to be able to rank on Google, or that even be on the social media side of things, because our agency also does provide social media services. And maybe they just don't have the time to keep their social media up to date and to create content on social media as well. So a lot of the work that we end up doing is actually like content creation, and that's just the kind of work that our clients, like, they personally don't have the time to do it because they're so focused on running their business and the internal parts of like completing the work for their customers.
Gotcha. So where do you see the future, as far as business wise? Are you gonna any books coming about in the near future? Are you gonna expand more in the near future?
Yeah, so we're always looking to grow. We're always looking to expand. So I'm not currently writing any books. Maybe one day. But right now, like, our agency, we already provide like quite a few different services, like I mentioned, on the Google side, on the social media side. So now really like what we're focused on is not growing the amount of services that we're providing or anything like that, but really just like growing our customer base, growing the amount of clients that we're working with, growing the businesses that we work with. But really, like, our company's mission is to work with more innovative companies, right? We want to work with innovative companies that otherwise might not get found online if they don't partner with a company like ours. And I really think that working with innovative companies is a huge a huge benefit, because we get to work with these companies that are not providing like the same products as everybody else. And when you work with that kind of a company, it's way more fun, first of all, to market them and to help them grow. But also we can be a part of that like innovation, right? So like one of the sectors that recently we've started working more and more with is like the cryptocurrency and blockchain sector, right? So we've worked with more and more companies in there. I see that as like an industry that's has a lot of innovation there, that's going to see like tremendous growth over the next few years. So we're trying to build partnerships within these kind of spaces where we believe there's going to be tremendous growth, and we want to be a part of that growth and helping it happen.
Gotcha. That's a very good market, the Bitcoin market and the crypto market for sure. So if people want to work with you, where would they go to?
Yeah, so they can go to my website, johnnybaskin.com. They can also go to our agency website, nomadicadvertising.com. It's NOMADIC advertising.com. Or they can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm on there as well. Just look me up, Johnny Baskin, and feel free to reach out from there. But pretty much any of those channels would work.
There you have it. Like, share this episode. Tell me what you think below. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast. Subscribe at the kingofcashflowwebsites.com or for free on iTunes. That way, you'll never miss another show.